Hello and welcome to another installment of Midnight Snacks with Clay. I'm, of course, your host, Steve Goldenberg. Um, I don't know why I feel like introducing myself as not myself. Um, Apparently Facebook has decided that it's going to change up the way my video is done, and so I am currently dealing with weirdness. So, bear with me. Okay, well, we'll go with this then. Hello and greetings from me, from Clay. The one Skittles, the true Skittles. Tonight I am wearing my lovely poncho that I got from Mexico. I'm going to push you all out a little bit so you can see this wonderful thing. Oh, how nice. Clay looks darling. Ooh, tassels. Yes, this is my poncho that I received that I got in Mexico when I went to Saltillo well, actually the place I went was La Naga. Was the name of the place, which is the best name in the world. And we did a lot of stuff I kind of talked about in the previous Midnight Snacks with Clay. Also tonight you may notice that my video is a little clearer. That's thanks to my roommate from college, Jeremy Coggins, Big Papa. Shout out to him. He let me have he sent me one of his old cameras that he had doubles of, and so now I have a good camera. I thought my laptop would have a good camera, but apparently it doesn't, even though I bought it pretty new. Colton says I look pretty cute in this poncho. Thanks, Colton. Colton's pretty cute himself. Colton will be turning 16 this Sunday. So once we have lots of people here, I'm going to sing to him. Ha ha, yeah. It's a setup. That's what I'm basically saying. So, on with the talks of the poncho. So, when I got the poncho, how it happened is we went to a market, and it was actually the day before we left. We were literally getting on the plane the next day. So we went to this market, and my youth minister at the time helped me bargain with this. He was like, here, give me all of your pesos other than like 20 or 250 of them, which are about 10. It's 10 pesos to $1. It was $25, basically, whatever it was. Yeah, that makes sense. And so anyway, I gave him all my pesos out of $25, and they were asking like 75 or 80 for this thing. Now in Mexico, it's kind of unlike the U.S. They actually have a bartering system where like they do start off at just outlandish prices, and you're expected to. Is the video flittering for anyone else? Let me know in the comments because it's doing something weird for me right now. You're expected to talk them down. So he helped me with this. This woman's like 90 pesos or 900 pesos, I guess it is. And we were like, not 900 pesos. That's a lot of pesos, which is $90. And so we talked back and forth, and then finally he's like, he only has 250 pesos. And she was like, okay, you give 10 or not 100 pesos to him, and then 350 pesos. And we're like, okay. And so that's how I ended up getting this nice poncho. It was actually my pesos he gave back to me. So that was fun. But then one of the funniest things that they came and did is we were walking, and this guy, the street merchant, came up and was like, do you, Americans, gringos. He's like, you need matches? And we were like, no, we actually don't need matches. He's like, you need matches. Look how long these matches are. And it was just these long, like matches you use for like fireplaces and stuff, just really long matches. And he was like, good matches, good long matches. You American, you buy them. He's like, for you, he's like 20 pesos. And we were like, for 5 pesos, we can get that in America. And he's like, oh, why make you such a good deal, friend? And like, he was just, he was really, we had to actually go into a store and wait for him to pass by because it was so people, like, he just would not try to stop selling us these matches. It was fun, though. I had a lot of fun in Mexico. Let's see, turn my mouse on. So, how has your all's week been? Anyone done anything exciting? Rhonda says she should have loaned me an outfit or a hat for this outfit. Yes, Rhonda has all the hats in the world. So yeah, I had another story that I was going to tell you, but then I thought of the peso story, and it completely left my mind. So if I remember it, I'll have to tell you. So I've been enjoying my cheesecake this week. Wayne keeps telling me to eat it because it's going to go bad, and I told him it took almost 2.5 years for him to give me a cheesecake. I'm not going to eat it all in one setting. I have to savor it in case he forgets. He loves me. I can like hold on to it like a squirrel stores nuts for the winter. I'm like storing his love for the winter until the harsh, mean months come again. I mean, I can say whatever I want here because Wayne's been in bed for an hour and a half at least. He goes to bed at 9:30 or 10. He has bednight rituals. He gets to sleep. The man is committed. I will give him that. He gets up early. He does things. He's done it his whole life. That's awesome. However, you see Rhonda Courier is in the comments because Rhonda's a night owl. One time Rhonda stayed up to 3 o'clock in the morning playing with her new phone. And I think everyone should know that because Rhonda's cute. And she does fun stuff like that. And she also, tomorrow, with Rhonda's video that I released, me and Peyton and Rhonda did a bunch of funny stuff today for skits and stuff. You all should check it out. Especially if you all have kids. You should check it out. You may have noticed that Lucas says that a package is en route to my place. I got a message from him today, said, where should I send this 8-legged critter if I was to buy you one? And so I gave him my address, so I think I might have a spider or a bug or something coming that I'm going to eat next week. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. Tonight's snack that Clay's eating is finally bought Takis. However, I've been told that green Takis are the least hot, and I'm a pansy. I'm directly quoting, of course, Kinsey Skinner, because Kinsey Skinner is the most Taki-loving person I know in my whole entire life. I hadn't heard of Takis. I moved here, and Kinsey just would not be quiet about them. So, let's see what all the fuss is about. Crunchy fajita. These are actually pretty good. I like them. They aren't hot at all, which means Kinsey Skinner is correct. I'm a pansy. I told her. She said apparently the purple ones are the hottest. See, even that's a little spicy for me. I told her if she has purple ones to put them in a bag and send them with Nick, and I will for sure try them out. But I don't want to buy a full bag because if they're as spicy as I think they are, then I won't eat them other than the one time I eat them on camera with you guys. I don't know. I kind of feel cheap for being like, feed me things. I feel like I'm some kind of like circus clown or like variety act or parlor trick kind of thing. I don't know why. It's funny. But like, my whole show is eating things. It's all Nick Skinner's fault too, because he's the one that said we should call it Midnight Snacks with Clay. I was just going to do goofy stuff, but then it turned into a whole eating thing. And I do enjoy different foods and trying different foods. Colton says he got to see the videos, and it was worth a watch. Yes, they were a lot of fun. My rear end hurts from falling on it so many times. You'll see what that's about if you watch that. Yes, Amber, Lucas said that I should make Amber watch me eat the spider. It was enough to convince Amber to let me even have the dead spider that is definitely dead, and then I can eat because that's dead. In our house in general, I'm pretty sure she's going to make me buy a safe so I can lock it up to make sure it doesn't get her. Very scared of spiders. I don't know if I ever told you all this, but if you ever look at Amber's upper right arm, she actually has a dent in it. The reason is because a brown recluse bit her when she was little, and they didn't catch it like in time, like it was a spider bite, and so the poison ate away at the muscle, and so she has a little dip in her arm. So she has a legit be scared of spiders. She's one of the few people I've met that like has a rational fear of spiders, because if a spider almost killed me like that, I think I would be scared too. This is Kenzie's addicted to Takis. Yes, she is. Colton said he tried Takis like one time in middle school, and he did not like them in the slightest. Colton and I, we are very similar when it comes to spice. He's actually worse than me of like hating spice, which made it really funny in Gatlinburg when we went to a little spice shop, and he had all these spices, and we were like, we'll try the most mild one you have, and they were like, that's spicy. Like, it was, you could tell he was just not happy with us. And then my fire-breathing wife came in, and we tried to convince her to try some hot stuff, and she tried some hot stuff, but not a lot. Amber has no sense of smell. Because of that, her taste buds aren't as strong, and so hot is the thing she can taste. And I actually found that recently. One of my good friends, Sean, Sean Crawford, in case anyone cares, he also has no sense of smell. And I was like, do you like hot stuff too? And he's like, yes. And they connected on this whole level. It was really cute. Let's see. Craig Hastings, also known as Ellie, says that she thinks that Takis are gross. I actually like these Takis pretty well. They kind of taste like barbecue Fritos, the Twisters. I guess they're like little spiral things. I like those pretty well. Let's see. So Rhonda is attempting to allow Amber to come over to her house during the spider time. I think Amber should bring a snake with her. That way they can suffer together. Let's see. Oh, Lenore Crawford, my sister-in-law, saying she remembered the process of dealing with the bite because she's the older sister. Cassandra's lucky was young enough that she's not traumatized. That's crazy. Yeah, there's things that, my sister, I have one sister, Erica, who's 6 years younger than me. And then I have another sister, Anna, who's 16 years younger than me. But, so there's memories I have that my sisters don't have of stuff like that. And it's kind of like my burden as the older brother to carry this on. Colton says that middle spices at Buffalo Wild Wings legitimately almost make him puke. That's funny. Let's Rhonda says they're not friends if a snake's involved. Oh yeah, I already told you all my snake story. I'm pretty sure. If I didn't, tell me in the comments. I'll tell the snake story again. So I thought I might introduce you to my two animals I have. I don't even know if I'm going to get her out of her bed because she's lazy. Yes, you're lazy. This is Missy. She's really cute, but she's lazy, and she sits around and sleeps all the time. But she has a belly, and she is all about showing you her belly. And then, I don't even know I'm going to make it over there. Oh, I guess I can unplug myself. We're going to go, I'll go show you my bird Swain. He may yell at you. Sometimes he's an angry bird. This is Swain. I can get an angle on him. He's a pretty bird. He's a pie-faced cockatiel. And I love my bird very much, even though sometimes he's grumpy, and he's a grumpy bird. Taught him the wolf whistle, where he actually came preloaded with the wolf whistle, which is the... I'm actually surprised he's never been yelling at you guys while we are doing this. Of course, me whistling, he's going to start going, I think. He also says pretty bird. But cockatiels are actually able to do words. Kind of. They kind of whistle talk is how I describe it. And so when he says pretty bird, he actually says pretty bird, pretty bird. And it took us a bit to figure out that that's exactly what he was saying. He also, he doesn't do it anymore because I haven't said it to him as much, but one day he just started going, and I did not know what he was doing. But what he was, well, actually, what I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, what you doing? I was like, what you doing? He's like, what you doing? I was like, oh. He's like, what you doing? And he's just going, which was very fun. And I also taught him a shave and a haircut, which is the and he will finish sometimes if I just do the and then he'll go right now he's very confused and looking at me because he doesn't know why I'm talking to him across the room. I wanted a bird ever since I was little, but my mother... Yeah, that's pretty, Swain. Yeah. That's the wolf whistle, if you all can hear him. Yeah, pretty. That's a pretty bird. Yeah. So that's Swain. I've loved birds since I was little. I've always liked birds. And then my wife was kind enough to allow me to get one. She likes birds too. She actually had a little bird. Yeah, I've seen the video of the bodies hit the floor. That was fun. Amber had a parakeet. And I just blanked on his name. She'll tell you in the comments. And so anyway, we've both enjoyed our bird. But that's not the only animal that Amber got me that I always wanted. I always wanted frogs as well. And so I know it. She's in our room going, oh no, don't tell this story. So when Amber got me frogs originally, I killed, I think, 4 of them before they ever got to me. None of them were her fault. The first 2, they told her just to not even worry about heating the water, that they'd be fine, and they froze to death. And then she went back to the place and was like, hey, I didn't heat the water because you all told me not to, and someone else was there and was like, yes, they need like 85, 90-degree water or they won't survive. We told you not to heat the water. So that was the reason that happened. And then I forget what happened to the second time, but then there was a time that they were getting frogs and they had like this little thing they set on the tank and put the frogs in. And as they were doing that, the frogs hopped out and fell into the tank below, which are, you know, if you're thinking water, that should be easy. That's not, you know, that shouldn't really be a problem. However, at this aquarium, our fish store, the tank below was a piranha tank. And those frogs went splash, and the piranhas heard, and then there was no frogs. And so Amber had a very traumatizing way of trying to get me frogs for my birthday, or it was Christmas. Either way, my birthday is January 9th, so it's 14 days away. So my whole life I've always it's been iffy if it was birthday or Christmas because they're 14 days and it's not that big of a deal. Let's see. Rhonda says that she loves hearing her backyard birds. I actually had a bird clock growing up. I don't know, you all might have seen these clocks. They have a bird for every hour, and then when it strokes that hour, that bird plays. And so now I hear birds, and I'm like, I know that tune. And I really would be like, I know that tune. That's 9 o'clock. So anyway. Oh, Lenora had not heard the Piranha chapter. Oh. I do like these Takis. Fajita. So, another snack that I've been eating a lot of, almost every night now, it's popcorn. This is popped last night. I saved half of it so I can eat it the next day. And Rhonda suggests Amber says that it seems like her comments aren't coming up again. Yes, I'm looking at your comments. You just told Lenora about it was from Gree. So, that was weird. I had a Facebook message pop up. So anyway, Rhonda asked me a question that I didn't know, which is to ask you guys, how do you eat your popcorn? I thought everyone just puts butter on their popcorn and that's it. But then she said Parmesan cheese and all this stuff, and I didn't know. I have these little shakers I bought at Kroger, and they're the one's garlic and one's just movie butter flavor, and I season my popcorn. It's pretty good. But I've also heard people put chocolate, or she said chocolate. I've had popcorn with like chocolate and stuff in it. So what kind of stuff do you roll your popcorn? Becky, I've never heard clock sounds. Do you mean an actual clock or him doing clock sounds? Because both of them are possible. Jason is a man of many sounds. A blast to talk to. If you all have never talked to Jason, you should get, once we're all back together, you should corner ask him questions and stuff. He's hilarious. He's so fun to talk to. Movie butter popcorn, I do like that. Apparently, kinda says Parmesan cheese. We have some Parmesan cheese. I have to try the Parmesan cheese. Becky says she eats hers a little burnt. And Colton says she just pops it and puts some salt on it. That doesn't surprise me, Colton. You're kind of boring. No, I'm just kidding. Colton's very plain eating sometimes. I love him anyway, but you can note I'm not. You know, I'm hosting Midnight Snacks with Clay, not Colton, because Colton would be like, here's what we're eating tonight, and it'd be a very simple thing that everyone's had. I'm adventurous, but Colton will try things if you convince him to do so, and so it's he's in good spirits. It's fun. We tried some weird popcorn in Gatlinburg. I really wish the camera could be a little of my screen because it's so hard to look up at the camera and not talk as I want to look at the comments too. But in Gatlinburg, Super Sagan Baxter said that she knew of this popcorn place that you like can make your own custom popcorn. I can't remember the name of it. Maybe you all can remember it. Put it in the comments. So we went there and they had like banana flavored and nacho cheese and ranch and John. Yeah, they had Parmesan. So maybe I have tried Parmesan, but it was like, anyway. They had so many different, like there was one that was unicorn, they call it unicorn poop, and it was like all the popcorn was candy coated with different, or had bits of candy like runts almost in it. It was interesting. they have a bunch of interesting stuff in Gatlinburg. Every year for TCTC, that's for you all don't know, that's where I take the high schoolers. We go to Gatlinburg Centers where TCTC is, and during our free time, we walk around the strip malls down there. Um, I shouldn't have paused. That sounded like I was going to say strip club. However, Dick's Last Resort is down there, which, if you all don't know, is like this restaurant where they're mean to you and they do things that aren't so church appropriate. It doesn't fail every year. I have to tell the kids, hey, go to any restaurant, not Dick's Last Resort. And the first time I actually heard of Last Resort being there is I was interviewing at church, and one of their previous youth ministers had actually used the church card and bought the kids a dinner at Dick's Last Resort, and it was not good because the senior minister happened to see Facebook photos of it, and then he's like, no, he couldn't have, and he looked on their credit card tracking thing and saw that, but nope, he had charged it to the church. So that's one of those things in ministry. We do a lot of crazy things, but you got to always be careful that you're not doing stupid stuff. I've done all kinds of stuff, and in ministry you do a lot of weird things: eat baby food, make sandwiches with your feet. Trying to think of some of the weirder things I've done. Smashed a TV with a sledgehammer. That one actually needed some safety. I did all of this as a student, and some as a youth minister. But the crazier stuff. Sometimes you host late night TV shows or Facebook live shows with your church. These are all things that we do as youth ministers, but you gotta be careful because there's some stupid stuff. This is a fun topic to share, so I'll keep talking about it. One time, the classic liability, because a lot of times you have to, and if you misread the same way, if you ever talk to her, like, she comes up with all ideas, but we are always thinking of safety and liability on the back end of it. But one of the we heard of is the game was you took a raw egg and put it on top of taped it on top of your hair, and then they got fresh frozen fish, and the goal of the game was to hit the other person over the head with the frozen fish. So now you have raw fish, you have raw egg, and people are sweaty and wet, and it's in the middle of summer, and it's dripping into their eyes and their nose and their mouth, and you're just asking for someone to get sick. However, my favorite game I've seen suggested was at the back of one of my youth ministry books. And I don't know if I've told you all this. I've told my youth this many times. I think it was there to make me laugh. I hope it was there to make me laugh. Explained how to play the game, and then they were like, I don't remember what happened to the youth minister after this, but it was a pretty fun game. So it starts with this. Step 1. Fill the baptistry with milk. And I'm already like, oh no. How about no? A whole lot of no. And some more no. You can't fill the baptistry with milk. But the whole game was fill the baptistry with milk, which, one, that's a lot of milk. That's expensive. I guess you'd have to at least do powdered milk. Step 2 is you cut bananas in half and then you throw them in. And then you have the kids bob in the baptistry to try to find the bananas and bring them out. This is the game that you play before you leave a church. So if if I ever leave this church and you all smell a funky smell, it's because we played one game of bobbing for bananas before I left. I'm just kidding. I would never do that. In case Nick sees this, Nick. I'm just kidding. Oh, Becky, switching back over. Let's see. Colton said if he could eat. He would eat plain popcorn because it's weirdly refreshing. Oh man, I love you. Ellie has a new mission. I don't remember giving her a mission. Colton should eat a spider. Ooh, you have to do a lot of convincing. See, the thing is I think I've heard that you can actually co-host a Facebook Live, and I think that might be fun to either do with Beef, or maybe we could convince Colton to do it and then try a spider with me. That might be something I'll look into. Buddy, pal, we may do this. Becky says the cuckoo clock's what Jason can do. I can't hear. I heard him do the cuckoo thing. I don't know what Killwinds is. Lucas says peel bananas with your toes. I've never tried that. I've seen it done though. Oh yes, Rhonda says she can't believe people support Dick's Lactories word. See, the meanness would be like eating with Wayne, but they're inappropriate, so that's probably good. That's not like eating with Wayne. But I'm used to people being mean to me. Like I said, I've worked with Wayne for 2 years. I have my cheesecake now, so I can be a little less nice. I still love Wayne and think he's amazing. Wish he would love me more, but you know, we can't all win. I don't know who thought that was a talking about the fatty egg. And yeah, Ellie, I do. She said, "Ouch." Yeah, I think that being hit with a frozen fish would be an ouch. I will get a spider to you. I see your brother in the office, Colton. So other fun youth minister things. I had another game that I completely forgot about that I was going to tell you all. But yeah, youth ministers are stupid sometimes. So always be smart. Let's see. I don't think we had any more popcorn entries. But I'm trying to think of one of the craziest things I've done in youth ministry. I don't know. I did some fun stuff in Scouts. Okay, Ellie, what is Killwinds? Like, what is it? Are you buying me spiders? Are you buying, like you said, you're buying me some next time we TC? Because I have no even idea what you're talking about. And oh yeah, you didn't go to TC. Well, go to TCTC with me this next up year. You know, forget Disney. Disney's for lamos. I'm just kidding. I've never been to Disney. Ellie's been there 16 times. Ellie, something ridiculous. Ellie likes. She likes the Disney World. Amber apparently keeps on saying that it was the popcorn store, or it's a popcorn store. It's not the one we went. I don't think so. Maybe it is. I thought that had something. I thought it had popcorn in the name, like Best Pop or something like that. It's interesting that Amber's comments aren't coming through now suddenly. I keep getting. Ellie says she's been 13 or 14 times. That's another person in my life that I try to get to at least speak to me. Emmy, Ellie's little sister. We have talked about it before. She calls them moo-moos, and she pointed at them and asked her if she liked the moo-moos, and she said yes. And then she told me a little bit about the moo-moos, and then she doesn't really speak to me since then. But she apparently is a big fan of mine, as you all know on Sunday morning. I said hello to her because apparently she was looking for me. She's very cute. All aren't tuning in on Sunday morning. All should. Fun. I mean, it's good to all be together on social media. I do not like that Facebook is allowing my chat to still pop up, because that's annoying. But we have Easter Sunday. Sunday, and I have a service. It's a Sunday morning surprise, so you know it's not going to be like, I'm not going to be dressed as an egg or anything like that. Even though that would be a lot of fun. But yeah. wondering if I want to try something with you guys. This is a game I talked about before. It's called Super Fight. Basically, you make like a monster, and then you decide who would win in a fight. I'm going to attempt to do it with you guys. I don't know if this will work, but it's fun. Away. Okay, so first you've got these white cards, which tell you what kind of monster you are. So I'm going to shuffle them, and then I'm just going to draw a random card off the top, and then I'm going to see if this works. This game's fun because actually how you're supposed to play it is in a group, and two people do this, and then they argue about who would win in a fight, and then the group takes a vote of who they think won the argument or would win in the fight. And if your character wins, then you advance to another person who draws cards and comes up with a new monster, and then you can argue about that. So, here's the white cards. I'm going to put those down, and then I'm going to take these black cards, which are the powers, I believe. Yes. And then I'm going to give each one 2 powers, and then we're going to see what happens. Okay, so the question is, and I want you all in the comments to kind of help this out with a who would win and why, is Stegosaurus with commands an army of disposable minions and can leap over tall buildings in a single bound, versus a carnivorous plant, carnivorous, whatever, armed with a lightsaber that has 2 smaller lightsabers sticking out the hilt, and also armed with a Gatling gun. The Gatling gun is the like for those not initiated. So who do you think? A Stegosaurus that can leap over a tall building in a single bound and commands an army of disposable minions, versus a carnivorous plant armed with a lightsaber which has 2 smaller lightsabers sticking out of the hilt and armed with a Gatling gun. So let me know what you all think. I'm leaning myself towards the Stegosaurus, because I'm thinking it can already leap, and a plant has to be pretty small, and Stegosaurus was a herbivore item, and then the army of disposable minions I think would absorb all the Gatling gun shots. So let's see. So Lucas actually I just realized, no, that would be Lucas. I'm guessing Lucas, not Steven. But Lucas says the plant. And Colton says that he thinks the Stegosaurus, because I don't think it's hold or shoot anything. That's true. But I guess I'm imagining with the plant that it has like vines that it can like grab onto the things and use it, kind of like a poison ivy's plant or something like that. Lenore says, how many disposable minions? This is an incredibly fact in my answer. It just says commands an army of disposable minions, so I'm guessing a lot. That would be my guess. Ellie says the Stegosaurus would win because while the plant has weapons, Stegosaurus has mobility. This is true. It can hide behind buildings to escape the gunshots and send minions in its place, and it can escape the battle armed. That's pretty good. I like Ellie's thinking. I'm gonna say that it's. I'm gonna agree. I think Stegosaurus might have won this one. We seem to have a lot of votes. The carnivorous plant, though, if it got a hold of it, I think it'd be over. So let's make a new one, and then we might move over some Would You Rather. Okay. My two things. One superpower piece. Okay. So we have Star, which is from Guardians of the Galaxy, in case you don't know. Everything he touches turns inside out, and using this one actually has you draw a character card. Using the common cold as a club. That's a weird one. So Star-Lord, that everything he touched turns inside out, and he's using the as a club. Versus, I don't want to explain what that one was. It's an Animorph. Some of you know what that is. That's a geekier one. King Arthur. That can shoot lasers out of his ears. And armed with a really, really bright laser pointer. So once again, that's Star-Lord, where everything he touches turns inside out, using the common cold as a club, versus King Arthur, that shoots lasers out of his ears, and armed with a really, really bright laser pointer. Who do you think would win this fight? Oh. Well, Nora says she loves Animorphs. I've never actually read or watched or anything Animorph-wise. Your sister has filled me in on some of the stuff. Also, one of my good friends, Mike, really likes it. I tag is Weasel247. And he says Weasel because I'm pretty sure the story goes him and some friends at camp were coming up with what animal they would be if they were Animorph, and his was a weasel. So he really loved it. Oh, yeah, I thought you said, Laura said I've had him reading them now. I thought you meant the cards. And I was like, well, join on in. That's also a good thing. Okay, so Colton says King Arthur for sure. He can just blind Star-Lord and then laser his arms off. Yeah, but like I like how it comes out of his ears. Because like it's hard to aim without being able to see. That's my thing with that. And it would be hard to get. Ellie says Star-Lord could just turn the Earth side out and escape on his ship. Easy win. Fair point, Ellie. I like that one. If it was any kind of alien, I was going to give it to Star-Lord for sure because of the common cold. And if you ever watched End of the Worlds, I forget what it is. In the end, they get killed by the common cold. I can't remember the name of the book movie now. So Rhonda says King Arthur dies. Sorry. Rhonda, why do you think King Arthur dies? What does Star-Lord bring to the table you think kills him? I'm wondering what your thought process is. Cole, good point. He feels like a really bright laser pointer would do something on the eyes. I think I've heard stories of people shining laser pointers at airplanes and like crashing them, which I think is just bananas. War of War. Thank you, Peyton. That's the name of it. I knew it had something to do with war and worlds and things that worlds war at. And Lucas says something sounds familiar. Oh, I missed Lenora's saying, but could he aim appropriately? He quickly does the cold take effect. Yep. Killed by the common cold. Yeah, it's a toss-up. Um, Colton says, and then while Star Lord is trying to find the way around, Arthur can just aim his ears without threat. Yeah, uh, I really like this addition of um, these are good. I'm gonna say that the laser pointer blinds. I'd say that that's a fair assessment, especially Star Lord. Although Star Lord does wear a mask, so that might actually stop that. This one's a tough one. Um, Personally, I thought I was going to go with King Arthur. I'm Star Lord though. I like Ellie's thought of turning the world inside out and then just leaving. I feel like that would then suffocate Star Lord and he would die. Or suffocate King Arthur and he would die. Um, that's who I think I'll give it to for this one. Well, that was kind of fun. I didn't know how that would go, and I think that went pretty well. Thought of a weird thing I ate today. Not today. Well, today I thought of something that I weird that I ate one time. I don't know if y'all remember this, but KFC, like a few months ago, had a I got it. I was destined for this life of eating random things. And yeah, and it was weird because like think about the Cheeto dust at the bottom of the bag and then coat a piece of Cheeto dust. That's how it tasted. It was like super cheap cheese tasting with lots of salt. I mean, I ate it. I'm happy I did. One of my favorite things I ever ate though was Meat Mountain at Arby's. It was like the sandwich itself was like $13, but it was every meat that they sell and two types of cheeses or several types of cheeses. So it was turkey, roast beef, brisket, chicken tenders, ham, you name the meat, it was there. This sucker was this thick. I literally had to cramp it and then get like a like headbutt it to like get into my mouth because it was so huge. That's probably my favorite thing that I've just been eating. In Gatlinburg, there's supposed to be you can buy a whole chicken leg or turkey leg, and I need to do that to like get in touch with my Viking roots. I don't have Viking roots. I just wish I had Viking roots. Maybe I have Viking roots. For the record, my hair is blonde. My beard is red, but people get confused and they're like, "Well, you're." I had someone at the gas station be like, "Oh, redheads have to stick together," and I was like, "Oh yeah, sure," and then left. I was like, "I'm not redheaded. I'm hoping I have a redheaded little daughter when we have kids." I don't know why, but I think redheaded little girls are so cute. However, and I will say this until I've proven wrong. Most redheaded little boys are, well, they're evil. I've asked grown men that were redheaded little boys, obviously, and they were like, "Yep, I was a bad kid." But redheaded little girls are strong-willed, but they're at least cute. Now, I have met some redheaded little boys that are very cute. But for the most part, I find that is the case. Let's see. Rhonda says, Meat Mountain, hope you didn't eat that on a Monday. Rhonda has meatless Mondays because she's a crazy and doesn't enjoy life. I'm just kidding. I love Miss Rhonda, but sometimes she doesn't eat meat, and I understand how you don't eat meat. Because meat is amazing. I'm definitely a carnivore. So, one thing, Colton says that his first grade best friend was a redhead. I want to point out that he's not your best friend. So maybe it has to do with his red hair. Rhonda says if I have a redheaded boy, she's going to retire. Listen, I control. I promise. I'll just be like, you can't do this, son. I don't know. I've always thought redheaded little children are cute. As long as they don't decide to be meanies, then I'll be good. One thing I wanted to eat before we got off, because I don't know how long they're going to keep. Are you okay, Missy? Missy's complaining. I think I've woken her up. Hey, yeah, you're cute. I'm not going to let you come out here and be Midnight Science Play if you're going to groan and complain the whole time. Go back to sleep. She's lazy and she's fat. We tell her that all the time. But Amber got me these Pockies, cookies and cream. I don't know if you've ever had Pockies. They're pretty good. Since the Takis weren't the best, I'll try the Pockies. It's just, hilarious. Trying to open them without ripping it asunder. Okay, so here's what these. They're like these sticks covered with yogurt. It's kind of actually hard to see. There we go. The sticks are like it took me a while to figure out what flavor they were. This is actually pretty good. But tell me if you all remember this, or maybe it was just when I was a young'un. It's like these little white bread sticks, and at the end was a tub of cheese, and like you could have them in your snacks and stuff. And it was like the tub of cheese was like nacho cheese, and you just dipped your stick in there and ate them. That's what they taste, the sticks of them. But the cookies and cream, it's pretty good. Ellie's ridiculous of Pockies, or is addicted to Pockies, I should say. Yeah, in Irvin, my last youth ministry place, I had a child that was addicted to Pockies as well. Okay, Ellie remembers these things. A kid. I like them pretty. Actually, they kind of throw me off with Pockies. I don't know why. It's like too salty or something. It's weird. I'm also drinking raspberry lemonade tonight. I love raspberry lemonade. It's my favorite. It was a total 90s thing. Lenora said she loved those. They're actually my favorite lunch item. So yeah, I do remember those. There are so many things. I'll tell you what is the most from my 90s childhood, and that's Warheads. I think maybe they still make them, but I haven't ever seen them. But Warheads were like my favorite sour candy because they were sour. They were so good. Also like Airheads and Lemon Heads. Maybe I just like eating heads. Head cabbage. I like cabbage. Heads of lettuce. There's lots of heads, and I enjoy eating a lot of them. So yeah. Let's do a would you rather, I guess, before we dismiss from this random talk show thing. Let's see. Where were we? Aha. Okay. Be hit by lightning or be bitten by a shark. That hit by lightning or be bitten by a shark. And why, if I can. Amber apologized to Kinsey. I did see Kinsey. She means Ellie. Oh, she says Takis. Yes, I got you now. Yes, we do have a. I know what next week's snack will be. So, because Lucas is going to provide it. So this is an interesting factoid that Clay knows. The guy who played Jesus in Passion of the Christ. Actually, he's a really cool Christian guy. You should look up interviews with him. His initials are JC, and he played JC, which is cool to me. But Um, Colton said he'd rather be by lightning because it's cool. Um, but anyway, when they filmed the scene of him on the cross, he actually when he they flip him over on the cross, like flip him back onto his back once he's like nailed to the cross. Is in pain. It's because he dislocated his shoulder when that happened, and also while he was on the cross, he caught frostbite, and he got struck by lightning. Like there's like lightning happening in that movie, and that's not staged. That's actual. They did the whole scene in. Um, and he feels very strongly that maybe it was like a way of like helping him experience the pain that Jesus had to go through in a way. Obviously, it wasn't even close, but it's just kind of crazy that they try to make a Jesus movie and like so much happened to him. I think he got emaciated and frostbite or hypothermia. That was what it was. And struck by lightning and dislocated shoulder, like all these crazy things, just trying to this really powerful movie. If you've never seen Passion of the Christ, it's really cool. So it makes me cry every time. It's cool because it shows things, not because it's a feel-good movie or anything like that. I think I'd rather be hit by lightning. Shark bite, I feel is more permanent. Because it would fulfill her one of her fears. She fears sharks attack on land. Brad Pitt does too, just so you know. Brad Pitt has the phobia of shark attacks even on land. I have a book that has useless information like that. The name of the book is Why Do Dogs Eat Their Own Poop? And Other Interesting Facts. Just so you know. Rhonda says she'll punch the shark in the face and survive. You would survive, but you have to take the bite. These would you rather's work. If it does happen to you, you can't prevent it. Trying to picture Rhonda punching anything's funny. Rhonda can mean business when she needs to. You're not going to go bald like Pitt. I'd still love you if you did, wife. Anyway. Well, it is midnight, so welcome to the midnight hour of Midnight Snacks with Clay. Thank you all for hanging out with me and talking about random stuff. Next week, I eat the bug or spider, arachnid, whatever. Because Luke just asked me where to send the crawly thing. He didn't actually specify it was a spider, so it could be something else. Could be gummy spiders for all I know. I will on stream though. So, let me pray for you guys, and then we'll get out of here if I can figure out how to end this video. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time of laughter and silliness. We thank you for giving us that ability by making us in your image. We know that you too have to have joy and silliness and laughter, and we know all things come from you, and we thank you for that. We pray you be with us during this time of isolation and not being able to see each other. Help us to grow close to you and to our family, that if we're with our family. Be with all the people as they continue through their week, and just bless each and every one of them. Keep us safe until one day we can meet together again. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Well, I love you guys, and there's nothing you can do about it, so you all have a good evening. Goodbye.